Welcome back to The Calling. I'm your host, Connor Coman, and today we have a great show planned for you. So, before we dive into some information and concepts, just want to reiterate the purpose of what we're doing here. I started this podcast with a great team of mine, and our goal, the reason for this whole podcast here, this whole YouTube platform, is because I feel the call to help people grow so that they can chase after their callings, so that they can reach their purposes. So, what I cover on today's episode and on the part two that's going to be coming next, what we're going to cover in these next two episodes is going to help you do exactly that, to radically change your life. So, I'm super excited about it. I hope you are as excited as I am about it, and let's dive into it. On this episode and in the part two, we're going to be talking about the power of the mind. So, studies will tell you that human beings on average have around 60,000 thoughts every single day. And what's alarming about this is that between 75 to 95% of these thoughts are repetitive. It's the same thoughts that you had yesterday. And then also 75% of these thoughts are negative thoughts. And most human beings do not understand how much our thinking, how much these thoughts actually have an influence on our life experience. Our thoughts, our beliefs, our attitudes, our expectation, our focus, and our attention. It actually impacts our life experience. This is one of those things that should be taught in schools. It's like financial education and how money works. These concepts and these skills, we need to understand this. We should be teaching kids this concept from grassroots. The truth is, your mind is a powerful tool, and we need to understand how it works. We need to take control of it, and we need to start using it to our advantage for our growth and success. And so let's start with the understanding of how the mind works. To do that, I'm going to teach you something in this video which is called the bear effect. And what the bear effect basically states is that the results you're getting have everything to do with the way you're thinking and believing. Let's talk about it. So the B in bear stands for beliefs. This all starts with our beliefs. And all of us have beliefs. All of us have ideas in our minds that we believe to be true. Now, here's what we want to understand about beliefs and about the mind, is that we have a conscious mind and we have a subconscious mind. So we have conscious thoughts and subconscious thoughts and beliefs. And here's how this works. An example of a conscious thought or conscious belief is this knowing that I have a meeting today at 12 noon. That's a conscious thought that I have. Or I'm aware here that there's a microphone that I'm talking into, that I'm conscious of this. Versus the subconscious thoughts and beliefs, these are more deeply rooted beliefs that we have in our mind. These may be formed during childhood. These things may be formed by just repetition over and over. So an example of some subconscious thoughts and beliefs would be this belief, this internal, deeply rooted belief that I have, that I am born to succeed and produce great results in my life and to win. That's a subconscious belief that I have deep within my being. Another example of the subconscious mind working is if you drive a car and you realize if you've been driving for a while, it gets to the point sometimes where you feel like you can sit in the car and then you just drive to where you're going, and then when you get there, you don't even remember driving. You were just kind of on autopilot. That's how the subconscious mind works. It's just patterns, deeply rooted patterns that are within us. So we want to understand that when it comes to these beliefs, is we have them in the conscious mind, and then we also have them in the subconscious mind. And here is what we have to understand about this, is that our subconscious beliefs produce conscious thoughts that reinforce those beliefs. So what we believe at the deeply rooted subconscious level is going to produce thoughts in our conscious mind that reinforce those beliefs. Let me give you an example of this. Maybe throughout your childhood, if you had parents or people around you that talk down to you and tell you you'll never amount to anything, you'll be just like this person in your family, just this negative imprint that was put into your subconscious mind, repeated over and over throughout your life, now you have this subconscious belief that I'll never amount to anything. What that subconscious belief will do is produce thoughts in your conscious mind that align with that belief. So if that's something you believe deep down, you may have thought patterns and think thoughts of, I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. There's no point in trying because it's not going to work out for me. I'm not worthy of success. I'll never amount to anything. Again, these subconscious beliefs produce conscious thoughts that reinforce our beliefs. Got to understand that. And here's another thing we have to be aware of to understand the bear effect and to put it into play to change our lives, is that the sum total of these subconscious beliefs that's in our minds, they all come together to form a mental program that is running your life. We call it a paradigm. This paradigm is not just dictating and controlling your thoughts like we just talked about. It's also controlling and dictating the actions you take, your behaviors, and ultimately, as we'll learn today, it's controlling the results you're getting. So again, all of this, what we're going to talk about today, the power of our mind, how we can use it to change our lives, it all starts with our beliefs. More specifically, the beliefs in the subconscious level that are deeply rooted, that many of us don't even know we have at some times. But it all starts right here with our beliefs. Next, we have the E. So the E stands for enthusiasm. What comes to your mind when you hear that word, enthusiasm? We all know someone who's enthusiastic. Some words that come to my mind is energetic, excited, someone who's in spirit. And that's really what enthusiastic means. It comes from a word, two root words, en, theos. They come together to form enthusiasm, which means, quite literally, in spirit. It's someone of high energy, high excitement, high spirit within them. So according to this bear effect, our beliefs and our thinking are going to dictate our enthusiasm level. The beliefs and the thinking we have are either going to empower us with energy or it's going to destroy us with discouragement. Let's look at some examples of this. If it is a deeply rooted belief within my being that every day is a gift from God, that waking up in the morning is the number one most valuable gift that I have in my life, I'm going to wake up energized. I'm going to wake up grateful and motivated. If I believe that my success is inevitable, if I believe that deep down that I've been born to win, my purpose is to succeed and grow and achieve greatness, and if that's truly my belief, then I'm going to be grateful and excited even when there's ups and downs along the process. The trials and the tribulations that come my way, they're not going to cause me to just quit and give up and be discouraged. If I have this belief that, no, I am born to succeed, I may even be grateful when these tough times come my way because I'm going to realize this is just growth opportunity. This is growth happening that is bringing me down this path of success that I am meant for. Now, on the other hand, it works in the negative as well. If it is my deep down subconscious belief, if it's deeply rooted in me that I am not worthy, that I'm not good enough, if this is my belief, then that is going to translate in my enthusiasm level. I'm going to be low energy. I'm going to be moving slow. I'm going to have no desire and drive to go pursue anything in life. And if you think about it, why would I? Why would I want to give my all to something and pursue and go after greatness and success if deep down I don't even believe it's possible for me and that I'm not worthy of it? So again, this works in the negative sense as well. If I believe that life is out to get me, many people call this Murphy's Law, that anything that can go wrong to me will go wrong to me. I know a lot of people who operate in this mindset where something goes wrong and it's just my luck. People that talk like this, they believe that life is out to get them, that bad things always happen to them. And that is a deeply rooted subconscious belief in them that translates into their enthusiasm level, their energy level. So this person may have no enthusiasm. They're just expecting the next bad thing to happen to them. They're living with enthusiasm and energy of fear and worry and negative anticipation. And this is damaging. Having those types of beliefs is going to, again, as I mentioned, destroy you with discouragement, may put you in survival mode. So the point being with this section here is that our beliefs dictate our energy level or our enthusiasm. Next, we have the A, and the A stands for actions. So the bear effect states that your level of enthusiasm will dictate the actions you take. Now let's look at those same examples that we just talked about. If it is my subconscious, deeply rooted belief that life is a gift, every day I wake up, that is the most valuable thing in the world. If that's my belief, I wake up with enthusiasm, grateful, energetic, motivated. The action that I'm going to take is get up out of bed first thing, is take action, is not to hit the snooze button, is to get up, spring up out of bed, and attack the day. Next example we looked at. If I have this deeply rooted belief that I am meant for success, I am born to win, my success and achieving greatness is inevitable, then my enthusiasm is going to be up. I'm going to be excited and grateful when I hit tribulations and problems, because that's growth right there. So enthusiasm remains high. What's going to be my action is going to be continuing to pursue through discomfort, having a willingness to get outside my comfort zone, having the ability to manage my emotions, or to simply just do the work, to do whatever is required to reach this success that I know deep down I am meant for. And on the other hand, again, this works in the negative sense. So if it is my deep down belief, my subconscious, deeply rooted belief that I am not good enough, I'm unworthy, I'm going to have low enthusiasm, low drive, low desire. The action that I'm going to take from that, laziness, procrastination, putting in the least amount of effort. I may even form some self-sabotaging habits that will destroy my success, so it can reinforce my belief that I'm not good enough. Next example we looked at was the Murphy's Law example. If I believe deep down that life is out to get me, that everything's going to happen bad to me, just my luck when things happen to me, then we're going to have low to no enthusiasm, low energy, be fearful, worry, survival mode. And what's the action that will flow out of that? Most of the time, it's no action at all. It's just this analysis paralysis of all the things that can go wrong, no willingness to take action. You choose to stay in your comfort zone. You choose to stay and play it safe. No willingness to step out and take the risks that are required to achieve success. And why would you take that risk? And why would you step out into this discomfort if you believe deep down that everything's going to fall apart and nothing's going to work out for you? So I hope you're seeing by now that your behavior is being controlled by your beliefs and by your thinking. But what does your behavior lead to? Let's look at the next one. The R stands for results. So according to the Bear effect, the actions you take equals the results you produce. This is the law of cause and effect. So the results you're getting are the effect of the actions you're taking, which is the cause. What are some examples of this? If you are getting results in the gym and you're building muscle, losing fat, it is because the cause of your actions. You're in there lifting weights and putting in the work. If you put in work at your job, you clock in and do your job, you get the effect, you produce the results of your paycheck. So cause and effect, actions lead to results, and we reap what we sow. Now, what you're getting is coming from what you're doing, and this also applies to what you are not doing. If you are taking no action, that is an action. You're choosing to not step forward and do what's required. That's an action step right there. And that will equal no results. No action, no results. It is delusional to think that you can create results out of thin air with no willingness to take action. So let me recap this. What do we got from the Bear effect so far? Is that your results are dictated by your actions. And your actions are controlled by your level of enthusiasm. And your level of enthusiasm comes from your beliefs. Let me put it in different words here for you. So what you're getting is a result of what you're doing. What you're doing is being controlled by your thinking. And your thinking is being controlled by your current paradigm, or your sum total of these deeply rooted beliefs that you hold to be true within yourself. So maybe you're watching this and you don't like the results that you're getting right now, and you want better results. Or maybe you're watching this and you do like the results you're getting, and you want more of those results. We have to understand this. The truth is that any level of success and growth all starts first in the mind. It all starts first between your ears, with your beliefs and with your thinking. And Albert Einstein knew this. This is one of my favorite quotes, but he said that a problem cannot be solved at the same level of awareness in which it was created. Now, what does that mean? That means that if you want to change your life, if you want to get different results, you have to change your thinking. You have to raise your awareness. You have to evolve this paradigm that you're currently living with. So I'm going to give you 4 quick steps on how to do this. Step number 1 is you have to adopt a mindset of ownership. We're going to have to take a next level of accountability, of responsibility, and of ownership over our minds. We have to be willing to acknowledge that what I'm getting right now, my current results, are coming from what I'm doing or what I'm not doing. So we have to stop playing this blame game. It's so easy for us to assign blame to others, to assign blame to these external sources for why we're not where we think we should be. Oh, my parents set me up for failure. Oh, it's the government's fault. It's the economy. It's the school system. It's very easy to assign blame to these sources. And, there's truth to this. I have compassion for those who were set up for failure. Maybe your parents didn't set you on a good path and show you love. Maybe you are part of this school system that sets you up for failure. The government, I understand that things are not really in favor of our success. However, what's the title of this message? Is the power of our mind. We have the ability to transcend all of these things that have been kind of rigged against us. It doesn't matter what hand of cards you've been dealt. You can change your thinking and change your life. But it's going to start with taking this level of ownership and accountability over our minds. We need to kill this victim mentality and just make a decision to get to work on our minds. Step number 2 is you have to identify limiting thoughts and limiting beliefs. So for this, we're going to have to develop the skill of becoming aware of your thoughts. And the first part of that is realizing that you are not your thoughts. Many people identify with their thoughts. They're just driven by their thinking. They think that they are their mind. But you are so much more than your mind. You have a mind, and you are not your thoughts. We want to become aware of our thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. And so something that can help you develop this skill of becoming aware of your thoughts is meditation. This is something that has helped me a great deal over the years. It's helped me become aware of my thoughts. It's helped me to identify limiting thoughts and beliefs. What I like to do is close my eyes and just breathe, focus on my breath, and watch these thoughts just pass by my mind like clouds. And when one pops up, maybe it's, this thing's not going to work out for you, Connor. Your business is going to fail. You're ugly. These things that pop up, these thoughts that come by, what I do is I take it captive. And I simply point at it and say, that's a limiting belief. That is a limiting thought. So step number 2 is just identifying the limiting beliefs, developing that skill through awareness of our thoughts. Another thing that can help you develop this skill is paying attention to how you feel, is being aware of how you're feeling moment to moment. And if you find yourself in this low energy, this no enthusiasm, this survival mode, this tense fear, doubt, worry, anxiety, if you're feeling like that in a moment, again, becoming aware of how you feel, but then in that moment, ask yourself, what am I thinking right now? And chances are in that moment, you are thinking negative, self-defeating, limiting thoughts. And remembering this, that these limiting thoughts that we have are all coming from, they're being produced by limiting beliefs that we have at the deeply rooted subconscious level. After you've identified these limiting thoughts and beliefs, step number 3 is you have to replace them with empowering beliefs. So once you've identified, this is a limiting belief that I'm having. I've become aware of my thoughts, and this one is limiting me. It's negative. It's not beneficial for my growth and success. You've identified this belief. What we need to do is scratch that belief and replace it. So you could think about it like a CD. A CD is not going to work when it's all scratched up. So when you have these limiting beliefs, scratch it up, don't allow it to work anymore, and replace it with an empowering belief. And how you're going to replace it is done by speaking. Speak it out. There's truth to the idea of speaking things into existence. So I'll give a personal example. As I'm building a business and I'm having these limiting thoughts come into my mind of, it's not going to work out. you're not going to hit your numbers this month. This is all going to fall apart. I have these thoughts too, but I become aware of them. I identify them as that's limiting me to my success, and what I do is I speak against it. And I'll give you an example of what I might say in that moment is, I am growing a flourishing business and I am on my way to success. I will speak that out of my mouth when I'm having these thoughts of it's not going to work out. So why do I do that? Because I have to replace that thought that is taking up space in my mind. And by me speaking that out, I'm planting that thought into my mind. So again, this all starts with deciding to take ownership in your mind, and then identifying the thoughts and beliefs that are limiting you. And then step number 3 is replacing those limiting beliefs with empowering thoughts. We have to develop this discipline over our minds, over our thoughts, over our beliefs. And this is a lifelong process. This is never going to stop. It's going to be very difficult and foreign, and it's going to be confusing in the beginning if you've never entered into this level of discipline in your mind. It's going to be difficult, but it's going to get easier over time, and it's going to become more natural over time. But again, it's never going to stop. This is a lifelong process. Why? Because there's a war going on in your mind, and it's on us. You have to choose to enlist in that battle and choose to win that war that's happening between your ears. And step number 4 is you have to give yourself new ideas to think from. So as we've covered already, this current paradigm, or this current collection of beliefs that we're living with, that is controlling our behavior, that is controlling the results that we get. This paradigm was created and put into place by the repetition of information over time. So again, we want to change our thinking so that we can take better action and get better results. If we want to change our paradigm, give ourselves a new program in our mind, to give ourselves a new collection of beliefs that's going to give us better actions, better results. If we want to do that, it's going to be created and replaced in our minds with the same exact strategy, the repetition of information over time. So what we need to do is we need to, what the secular world would call, reprogram your subconscious mind. Or what the church, the biblical world would call, and this is straight from scripture, is that the Bible says to be transformed. To be transformed, go through this transformation process, but how's it done? It says be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So again, it all starts here. We have to give ourselves new ideas, new beliefs, new thought patterns, new paradigms that we can now live from, because they're going to give us new actions, and those actions are going to produce better results, therefore changing our lives. So here's what we got to do to give our brain new ideas to think from. We need to feed it the right nourishment. We got to put the right thoughts, the right ideas, the right concepts, the right truths into our mind, ones that empower us and ones that, are more aligned with these goals that we have and with the success and growth and what we want out of life. We got to feed ourselves the right information and repeat it over and over to reprogram it so we can be aligned with what we're trying to accomplish. Now, here's some ways you can do that. Here's some ways you can feed and nourish your mind. Number 1, read books. Leaders are readers. People, and anyone will tell you that has achieved great success, whether it's in business, in churches, families, financial success. These people read books. So they're getting truth and getting concepts into their mind that are going to help them take better action and get better results. So number 1 is read. We're in a world where we're swiping all day. Have more book time than you do screen time. That's something that I would recommend to feed your brain the right nourishment. Second thing, speak, as we just mentioned before, speak empowering words. Some call it affirmations, whatever you want to call it. Speak empowering words over yourself. If you have these deeply rooted beliefs of I'm not worthy, nothing's going to work out for me, we're just on this negative loop of thought patterns, you may need to wake up in the morning and declare some empowering beliefs over yourself. Personally, I've done that. I've stood in the mirror for days, every day, waking up and just reminding myself, I'm born to succeed. I am enough. God loves me. These are things that I need to remind myself and rewrite in my brain because of where my beliefs were at. But once you've identified these limiting beliefs that you have, you'll know that you can replace them with empowering affirmations that you can speak over your life, And again, the point of that is to give yourself new ideas to think from. Create a whole new paradigm within yourself that's going to give you better actions, better results. And here's a third way to do this, to feed your mind the right nourishment, is journaling your desires, your goals, journaling them, but journaling them in a certain way. And this has really helped me a lot in my life, and I've seen results of this. So it's journaling with the feeling of your goal fulfilled. So I'll give you an example. I'll write down, I took something straight from my journal here, is I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm a successful businessman that is destined for greatness. No, writing something like that where I'm writing it as if it's already fulfilled. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm making six figures. I'm so happy and grateful now that my relationships are improving with my family. Whatever it is for you, write down and journal these things as if you're grateful for its achievement, that it's already happened, and feel that feeling of, man, it happened, and flood yourself with those emotions. So this is a strategy that maybe you want to adopt, maybe not, but again, it's something that has helped me with rewriting the program in my mind, which was very self-defeating throughout my whole life. And when I came into knowing these concepts of what we're talking about here on these videos, man, I got to work on these things, and they have led to rapid, radical, accelerated growth in my life. So I know these things work. And why you want to do that? You may be thinking, why would I write it down as if it's fulfilled if it's not fulfilled? Am I lying to myself? Well, maybe there is a little bit of delusion in that you're writing something that hasn't been fulfilled yet. But when you do sit in that space and write it out as if it is right now, what you're doing is you're getting that into your brain. You're telling your subconscious mind that this is who I am. This is the way that I believe. This is the way that I live. So as you're getting your brain used to the fact that this is who I am, what is that going to do? We've talked about it. It's going to produce more of those thoughts that are aligned with this being who you are. Those thoughts are going to get you fired up and have more enthusiasm. That's going to lead you to take better actions, and then that's going to bring you these results. It all starts in the mind, and you can go into this deep work in your mind and literally reprogram it with what you want and what you feel called to. So again, point being with all of this, if you change your thinking, you will change your life. It's all right here. Now, in closing, let me remind you of this. We want to definitely understand this, that the bear effect is always working. It's always in effect, whether you're aware of it or not, whether it's working for you or against you. And unfortunately, for most humans, this bear effect is working against us, and it's keeping us in these cycles of negativity. But what we need to realize and never forget is that the most powerful supercomputer in the entire universe is in your possession. It's right here. And it's time that we understand it, that we take control of it, and that we start using it for our growth, for our transformation, for our prosperity. And it's now more important, now more than ever, to get to work on this, because we live in this day and age where we are constantly bombarded every single day, at every moment of the day, with information, with news, with content, with entertainment. We're being just bombarded with all this stuff. So we need to start to get to work and develop that discipline we were talking about today if we truly want to reach success and have lasting change and growth in our lives. So I want to challenge you, get to work on this. Take back your mind and transform your life from the inside out. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on The Calling.